Hey everybody, Aaron here. Welcome back to another anime review. Today we look at March Comes In Like a Lion, episode 8. Damn, this was a great freaking episode. Like, holy crap. I love this episode. It was so awesome. It had so many emotions. This is why I think this really, for me, might be the anime of the season, to be honest. This right here. So, we haven't had last week an episode because it took a break for the whole week. So now we're going back to episode 8. It starts off pretty simple enough where we go back to kind of teaching the girls Momo and Hine how to play shogi, and we learned that the book that was shown in the first episode of last week, excuse me, the week prior, excuse me, we find out that Nishi made the actual book. The little fat friend of his made that book. And what was really funny about that is, Ray feels kind of inadequate after that. They're walking back home, and he ends up following him into his home, actually giving him a whole bunch of like furniture. Finally, he says, "Oh, I'm just gonna spend the night because that's what I want to do. We're friends. I'm your best friend, and all that." Ray's like, "I'm my best friend," but Ray nonetheless takes all the stuff that he gives him, and it's, I guess, just because he felt inadequate doesn't mean that he didn't like the dude. It's just that he just felt kind of weird because I guess his moment to shine with the two girls kind of fell flat when he ended up taking the back seat to the other guy teaching them how to play using the cat puns and stuff like that, and also had the cat music again, which was the closing of episode 7, I believe, where they were showing people how to play shogi. They did it again in the episode. I skipped past that because it's just kind of it's overly cute, but it's not necessary to me, honestly. So I skipped past it, but the whole thing of this was it was a nice quick chapter. I mean, this is 3 chapters, but this was really nice and quick. So the next part is pretty simple enough where, for the most part, Ray goes back to the shogi hall and is talking to the other dudes and stuff like that. But really, more so, what this part focused on was going back to Ray's memories, and namely his father. And I think that was one of the more touching scenes. But Ray's right here talking about how he's been on a losing streak. Of course, as we know, he's got 3 wins and 3 losses. He started talking about how you get demoted if you lose too many times, and it's harder to get back up in the ranks if you get demoted too often. So it kind of made him go back into his mind and think, how was my dad when he used to play shogi? And he thinks about his dad. And I'll be honest with you, this guy actually almost brought tears to my eyes, to be honest with you. I just thought about this. Was him looking at his father and remembering how he would, like, be positioned when he's playing shogi, looking at it, rocking back and forth. And it's really sad because, you can clearly see Ray admired his father. He even asked, what would my dad think right now if he saw me? And I won't even lie, like, because I'm very close to my father too, and it made me feel really sad because I think about what my dad does sometimes, and I remember when I was a kid, I tried to mimic a lot of stuff he does, so it definitely brought that to me. Luckily my dad's still alive, thank God for that. But I can only imagine him, the loss of him would be a tragic thing in itself. And this really, I think, conveyed this emotion of seeing Ray lose his father still very, very strongly. Now, Ray's emotional turmoil is not over yet, as another thing from his past comes up, namely his sister, Kyoka, the girl that we've been seeing in both a very mean light so far, and also, I want to say, an almost incestuous light. I mean, they were only half brother, half sister, technically, not even really, more so, even less because he was adopted into that family. But some people are still very weirded out by that. And she comes back and kind of forces her way into his apartment, and she's like making excuses, but she slams his foot against the apartment door like, I'm coming in, my feet are cold, let me into your apartment. And it was really, really weird. And you can see the kind of incestuous stuff, I think, in this scene right here where she pulls out one of his mattresses and is like smelling it and going, oh, I can tell it's still new because it doesn't smell like you yet. And I'm like, you two are weird. But more so, I really wonder, like, if they were to go back into the full story of that, because you could see Ray the whole time kind of looking at her going, what do you really want? Why are you here? In his head, at least, I think. And, she's talking about all this stuff, and at one point, she's like, he's trying to get her out of the house to catch a train, but she's like, oh, let me borrow a shirt, I'm tired, I'm gonna go sleep. So she ends up staying the whole night. And she goes up to him at one point, like, stroking his face and going, oh, I'm glad that, that incident never left a scar on you. And, I'm like, wait, what incident? You start seeing, in the next scene coming, what's interesting, something that must have happened at one time or another during Ray's probably adult life, where he must have got into a fight with her boyfriend at the time. It's still boyfriend, who looks like he might be a Yakuza. I'm just going to say that right now. But he goes, have you ever gotten into a fight with him? And she's like, no, if he ever fought me and hit me, I'd stab him when he's sleeping. I don't care, because I love him so much. I'm like, yeah, that's normal. Uh-huh. Okay. Sure, Kyoko, that's completely normal. Yep, whatever. And then the next day, he didn't sleep very well, and she wakes up, and I used one of these cute images because they had like three images with her. Almost kind of remind me of something that I would see in what's it called, Bakemonogatari, almost that type of thing where they showed three different images of her in like these cute poses and stuff like that. And she's talking to him and telling him about his next opponent. Like she already knows who the next opponent is. Apparently, this old dude who she's like, he's about to die, and he's gonna quit if he loses today. So you might want to let him win. Like you would do that because you're the nice guy. You're not gonna let him lose, right? And I'm like, damn. You're an evil bitch, Kyoka. Holy shit. And then she just essentially watch. She just leaves. That's it. Leaving Ray like, what? Like he's just staring at the door for like a good solid few seconds, and everyone, I think even the audience probably was like, what the fuck? This girl's crazy. And I like Ray's last line where he's like, he was early in the episode. He was reminded of a scene where he watched the thunderstorm as a kid during a clear sunny day, and then all of a sudden came rain. And having her come into his life like this and leaving suddenly was like that. He goes, it brought in a pounding rain, lightning and then rain. It's a very interesting analogy, and I like that really, to be honest. This episode was amazing though. It really brought some strong emotions to me personally, and just in general. I think to anyone who's watching this and really loves the show, you will definitely feel something. I give you credit if you don't feel something at least. But anyways, I will talk to you guys later. I gotta go review Zeta because now I'm behind on that, unfortunately. Hopefully you guys enjoy this review. As always, if you do, the whole nine. Just subscribe, share the video. The whole nine. I'm not gonna go through that all the time. Anyways, I will talk to you guys later. Have a great, blessed day, everyone. If I don't see you in the next review, bye-bye.